Welcome to today's explainer. Today we're diving straight into La Familia. We're going to discover the really beautiful, clear words that Spanish uses to describe the most important people in our lives. You know, every language has its own special way of organizing the world, and once you learn these family words in Spanish, I promise you're going to start recognizing them absolutely everywhere.
Let's take a quick look at our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll meet the family. Then, we'll look at the mixed group rule, followed by the keyword method, and we'll wrap up with family life in Colombia.
All right, part one. Let's meet the family.
So let's look at the core words here, and hey, repeat them out loud with me if you can. For the parents, we say los padres. For the grandparents, it's los abuelos. The cousins are los primos. Grandmother is abuela, and uncle is tío. Seriously, saying these new words out loud is literally the absolute best way to make them stick.
Moving right along to part two, the mixed group rule, or as they say in Spanish, Fíjate, which simply translates to notice.
So here's the big rule you really need to notice. In Spanish, whenever you have a gathering of both men and women, a mixed group, the language actually simplifies things for us. It defaults to the masculine plural ending. So instead of having to say the boys and the girls every single time, Spanish just uses one neat, all-encompassing word to cover the whole shebang. It's actually a real time saver. The word los primos perfectly illustrates this. It can mean just the boys, the male cousins, or it can refer to the whole chaotic group of cousins together, boys and girls mixed. Context is absolutely crucial here. It tells you entirely which one it is. Like, if you're looking at a room full of your male and female cousins playing a game, you simply refer to all of them together as los primos.
You'll also see this beautifully applied with los padres. Now, if you look at the strict, literal translation, yeah, it means the fathers. But in everyday, practical Spanish, it almost always just means the parents, that mixed group of a mother and a father. Honestly, it's just an incredibly efficient way to communicate.
All right, section 3, the keyword method. So how are we actually going to memorize all these new words we just learned? Well, I'm going to give you a tool called el método de la palabra clave, or the keyword method. Think of this as a simple 3-step memory cheat code to make these words stick in your brain forever. Here's how it works. Step 1. Find an English word or even just part of a word that sounds a lot like the Spanish word. Step 2. Create a highly vivid, maybe even slightly ridiculous mental image connecting that sound to the English meaning. And step 3. Every time you see or hear that Spanish word, your brain will automatically pop up that vivid image, handing you the translation on a silver platter.
It's actually put this into practice right now with abuela. Remember, that means grandmother. Take a quick second to write down in your notes what wonderfully silly mental image you can dream up to connect the sound of abuela to a grandmother. Maybe you imagine a grandmother ringing a giant bell. Abuela, abuela. You get the idea. The sillier and more colorful your mental image is, the faster your brain is going to lock it in.
Let's do the exact same thing for tío. Remember, T-O means uncle. So take a second to invent your own keyword image. Maybe you picture your uncle drinking a tiny cup of tea, or I don't know, maybe your uncle balancing a giant letter T on his nose. Whatever works for you, really. Just remember, the sillier the image, the better you're going to remember your uncle in Spanish.
Okay, moving to our final section, part 4, family life in Colombia.
In Colombia, La Familia is truly one of the most important parts of life. You see, Colombian families tend to be incredibly close. It's actually very common for the extended family, the aunts, the uncles, los primos, to live right in the same neighborhood or sometimes even under the exact same roof. And los abuelos, the grandparents, they play an absolutely essential daily role. They often live with their children and actively help raise the younger generation. These strong, deeply interconnected family bonds are a massive source of pride and comfort across the entire culture.
And the ultimate expression of this deep family bond? It's el almuerzo del domingo. Let's practice that together real quick. El almuerzo del domingo. Now, literally, this translates to Sunday lunch, but trust me, it is so much more than just a meal. It's a vibrant, weekly gathering that completely centers around food, deep conversation, and extended family love. It's that special time when everyone, the parents, the cousins, the grandparents, they all come together to celebrate simply existing as a family. It's pretty amazing.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want you to really think about something. We've learned that Spanish uses these highly specific, clear words for La Familia, right? And we've seen how deeply cultures like Colombia value bringing everyone together for el almuerzo del domingo. So, does having these specific, beautiful words in your vocabulary actually change the way you view your own family gatherings at home? I really hope learning this language makes you look at your own abuelos and primos with a totally fresh perspective the next time you all sit down for a meal. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and hey, keep practicing those keywords.